Okay, namaste everyone. Hi children, are you safe? Yes. So today I am here to give one more topic, but before that I am going to start with a story. Children, do you know WHO, that is World Health Organization, designated this year, that is year 2020, as International Year of Nurse and Midwife. Nurse, anyway you know the meaning. Midwife means the woman who assists a lady while giving a birth to child. So today I bought a true story of a nurse. She was born in 1820 in Italy, and her parents wanted to see her as a writer, but at the age of 18 she decided herself to dedicate her life to serve the people, and she became as a nurse in the 1844, and she believed it as a call from God, so she became as a nurse, and she with her 38 volunteers and 15 nuns participated in Crimea War to serve the injured soldiers. So when they reached there, she was surprised to see the surroundings of the hospital. So most cleanly, the untidiness is there, unhygienic conditions are there, and even the food that is supplied to the soldiers is also not at all good. Then she realized that the cleanliness, maintaining hygienic conditions is equally important as that of the treatment. So she with her all volunteers focused on the cleanliness of the hospital. She used to carry a lamp during night times to go to the wall, to walk in the verandas of the military hospital. So she used to treat each and every soldier there. And with their efforts, the hygienic conditions are improved, and the death rate was fallen from 42% to just 2%. So, and she is considered as the mother of modern nursing. She also wrote 2 books, the Notes on Nursing and Everyday Sanitary Knowledge, and she was the first woman to establish a training college for nursing in Britain. And till now I didn't say her name, isn't it? So she is none other than Florence Nightingale. So she is also famous as Lady with the Lamp. A movie also filmed on her, and it was released in 2008. So you may be surprised why I am telling all this story. See children, day before yesterday, that is 12th May 2020, is her 200th birthday. So I thought it will be a small tribute to her by remembering her in front of you. Second reason is, see, I said she is very famous as Lady with the Lamp. So lamp, as soon as we think of lamp, we think that light is coming out. So when light comes out, all the darkness will be flees. And not only in physics, even philosophically, light is designated as knowledge. So when knowledge comes, all the illiteracy or the ignorance will be eradicated. So yes children, you guessed it right. Today my topic is on light. So let us see the object. See children, this is, look at the slide. So this is the picture of Florence Nightingale, whom I was started the story, and the first, second pictures are her paintings, and third picture is taken from her movie. Look at the slide. These are the objectives today we are going to do. So what are the different sources of light, and what are the properties of light, laws of reflection, and curved mirrors, the image formation and uses of curved mirrors, and how to maintain our eyes as healthy. So let us go back to the history of lightning technology. So these lightning technology is divided into 4 stages. First stage is primitive stage, where the primitive man, when he invented fire, and at the same time they realized that they can keep themselves warm, and it also gives light. So they collected all the dry leaves and they used the resin material from plants, binded it to a stick, and they used it to lit a torch. See children, you might have seen this even in Bahubali. When they go in search of the hero, they carry a torch. So even this torch helped them to protect themselves from the wild animals. Second stage is the classical stage, where the naturally depressed stones are used to fill the animal oil or vegetable oil to lit the lamps. Third stage is medieval stage, where they used the metal lamps. Fourth stage is the modern stage, or invention stage, where the Leonardo da Vinci, when he invented the chimney, it led to the invention of electric bulb by Edison. Now, let us see how to define light. See, light is electromagnetic wave. Light is energy. So, this energy causes, when it falls on our eyes, it causes the sensation of sight. See, in Sanskrit we say Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam. So, in all 5 sense organs, our eyes are most important. So, if you look at the slide, it gives all the electromagnetic wave spectrum right from gamma rays to radio waves. So, in between you have a narrow slit where from 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers it is visible region. So, where violet to red color. See children, you know very well, our eyes are naturally prepared by biological matter. So, it has certain limits. It cannot see the wavelengths which are below 400 nanometers and above 700 nanometers. Of course, we can see the effects of them. Now, what are the different types of objects based on the light? Let us see. Based on the light children, I am again saying it, there are 2 types. So, self-luminous objects and non-luminous objects. So, self-luminous objects means which give out light by themselves. Non-luminous objects means which does not give out light by themselves. Then how can we see them? Look at the slide children. In the first picture, you can see only the dark. So, what is there you doesn't know. In the second picture, you can see a self-luminous object, that is light is there, and a non-luminous object, a chair is there. So, now you understand the technology, how we are able to see. That means, observe the third picture. The natural light from the sunlight is falling on the plant, and that light is being reflected by the plant and reaching our eyes. So, we are able to sense it as a plant. So, this is how we can see, and that is how the light is illuminating the objects. So, where is light first of all? So, light is everywhere all around us. In the morning time we see light from the sun. During night time we get light from the bulbs or candles or different lights. Even with the TV screens, the mobile phone, these are all give us light. So, these lights are divided into 2. So, let us put a question. Are these light, the examples which I told, are the same? No. So, these self-luminous objects are divided into 2. One is natural, the other one is artificial. So, the one which I told, the stars, look at the slide, the sun, the stars, the natural, during thunderstorms we see the lightning. So, even the glowworms, algae, bacteria, some marine animals also, they give out light by themselves, which is called bioluminescence. So, the fireflies, Children, do you remember the movie Maryada Ramanna? On the way to their train journey, at one place they will see all the glowworms are flying. So, these are the bioluminescence. What are the artificial sources of light? See children here, the candle, see the torch, the candle, the matchbox, all these are the artificial sources of light. Okay, next, let us put a question. What is the use of this light? So, here let us see. Light is helping us to see the different objects, to enjoy the nature, and plants are also preparing their food with the help of sunlight, and that food we are eating and we are getting energy from it, and light is synthesizing the vitamin D in our body, and light maintains our body clock. Like if it is daytime, we wake up and we do our works. If it is night time, automatically we get sleep. So, even in the remote, we use the infrared rays, and in poly houses, you might have seen the lights are used to grow the plants, and to treat the infant children from jaundice, the phototherapy treatment is given. So, in that also lights are used. And the sunlight is used to power the satellites, and it is also used by the space stations, and using sunlight we can produce the eco-friendly electricity, that is solar electricity. So, all these are the uses of light. Then it is very much necessary for us to read about light, isn't it? Now, let us see some properties of light here. Look at the slide. So, even in my measurement lesson also I told, light travels with high speed, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. And how this light is propagated? Okay, light is originating from self-luminous object, but how this light is propagated? So, this light is regarding the propagation of light, there were two theories. So, in 16th century, Sir Isaac Newton, he proposed corpuscular theory. See, corpuscles means very small particles. Children, you might have heard this word in biology, RBC, WBC, yes. So, these particles, they come out of the self-luminous object as if bullets coming out of gun, and the gravitational pull on them is very, very negligible, less. But this theory could not explain some phenomena like interference, diffraction, polarization, etc. And at the same time, after Sir Isaac Newton, Huygens, he proposed a theory. His theory is called as wave theory, because already they know about sound. So, in those days, Huygens, he assumed that earth is surrounded by ether medium through which the light is propagating in the form of waves. But later on, Michelson and Morley, they practically proved that there is no such medium around the earth like ether. So, then and this theory could not explain some Compton effect, photoelectric effect, etc. Later on, Maxwell in 19th century, when he given his theory, that is quantum theory. You heard this even in the last lesson. Each quantum, light quantum, is called as photon, where the energy is h nu. So, where E is energy, h is Planck's constant, and nu is frequency. So, energy is like a packet. So, from self-luminous object, the light energy comes as a packet. See, children, you may be doing the packets to eat our snacks during evening time, isn't it, in our schools? In the same way, energy is a packet. So, when light travels, it forms as a wave. But when it encounters with a particle, it automatically takes the nature of the particle. It interacts it and then it proceeds as in the form of a wave. That means, light is having dual nature. So, it can propagate in two forms, particle and wave. Do you remember the movie Aparichitudu? The hero will have split personality. In the same way, light is having dual nature. In Telugu we say dvandva samasam. Dvandva, dual means dvandva. So tallidandrulu, annadammulu, like this, it has two natures, particle nature and wave nature. And light is having the colors which we are able to see in the rainbow. And regarding this propagation, how it goes in different materials. So that is shown with three different materials. For example, this is the glass, where whatever the object I place, you can see clearly here. You can see clearly here. This is a transparent one. And if you observe the same thing here, the same thing with a ground glass, you cannot see it clearly. You can see that an object is there, but you cannot see clearly. So these are the translucent objects, and this is opaque object. This is opaque object, where if I place the pen back, the marker pen, you cannot see anything. So these are the substances, opaque substances. So light also carry energy. The communication and all go with the optical fibers. So when light intensity varies, if I stand near the bulb, the intensity will be more. If I go beyond, the light intensity will be less. So like this, these are the some properties of light. Now the most important one is light always travels in straight direction. So let us do an activity to show it. See children, here I have a shoe box. Shoe box I prepared like this. I kept two holes, this side and this side. Two holes are there. Two holes. I kept in between a card which is having a hole. So I am placing it here. So when I send light through here, observe what happens. You can see the light on the card. Yes, you can see the light in this card. But if I disturb this, if I replace this with another card like this, you can see the difference of the hole. So if I place this, now you cannot see the light. See here. So the light is not reaching here. So with this experiment, we can say the light travels in straight direction. So what is the use of it? Do we have any advantage of this? Let us see. Observe the slide, children. Here in the first picture, light is there. The hand, which is opaque object, is there. And down you are getting the shadow. So to get a shadow, we should have three things: source of light, opaque object and screen. So if you observe the second picture where the candle is there, so candle is giving the elongated source of light. So when the small ball is an opaque object, so when candle light is falling on the object, on the screen you can see two different images. One is dark, the dark one is called as umbra. The second one is lighter one, it is called penumbra. So now let us come to the actual utility of it. See, you can see in the slide solar eclipse. The formation of eclipse is due to this. See, when sun is the extended source of light, when moon comes in between sun and earth, when moon comes in between, the light from the sun falls on the moon, opaque object, and the shadow of moon falls on the earth. So where umbra falls, the people belong to that region will experience the total solar eclipse. And the people who are residing in the penumbra region, they will experience the partial solar eclipse. So children, if you see the below two pictures, that is shadow puppetry. Have you seen the movie Dasavataram? Heroine Asin, in the song of Mukunda Mukunda, she plays the shadow puppetry. So you can see the picture there. And next picture, you might have done it in your night study hours when power goes off with the candle light. You might have done the framing of different shadows of animals like deer or rabbit or elephant, like that, isn't it? So these are all the uses which we do with the light. And now children, let us put a question. Just now we did an activity with light always travels in the straight direction. Now, why can't light change its direction? Is there any situation where light can change its direction? Look at the slide, children. So by this you can see, I think you observe the three pictures there on the slide, lion and rabbit, second picture, third picture. Yes, you got right, you remembered the story. Here I am not going to say the story, but if you observe the second picture in the slide, the lion is watching its own replica. So lion is watching its own replica, that is called as an image. So lion is seeing its own image. That means light from the face of the lion fallen there and it is again reflected back. See, you can see this. If I just hit this ball like this, it again comes up. So like this, the light is going down and it is again coming up. So this is a phenomena of light, that is reflection. Let us see some more phenomena. Observe the slide here. So reflection, just now I shown you, and let us see the refraction. See, this is a plain glass, this one is, and you observe the size of the lemon here. You can see the size of the lemon here. Once I put it in water, you observe how the size changes. Yes. Is it appearing very big or not? Yes. So this is a phenomena of refraction. And when you are washing clothes also, you might have seen the colors in soap bubbles, that is due to diffraction. So these are all the phenomena of light. But today we are going to do the first one, that is reflection. So look at the picture here, children. There are two buildings. In one building, there are two images also. In the first picture, you can see clearly the image of the building. But in the next picture, the image is not that much clear. So it is blurred. So this is called as the reflection. So as I told you, reflection is divided into two. So reflection is of two types. One is regular or specular. Second one is diffused. So in regular reflection, what happens is the highly polished surface, when rays fall here, they will be reflected in the parallel only. Here in diffused reflection, due to the irregularities of the surface, if a ray is incidenting like this, it will go like this. So it is like a diffused. So how I am able to draw this? let us see how to represent a ray and beam of light. See, a ray is represented by a single line with an arrow. So, this is the representation of a ray. If I draw number of rays, it is called as beam of light. So, this can also be called as parallel beam. If the rays are coming closer as if they are going to meet at some point, so this is called as convergent beam. So, I can call it as converging rays, converge, they are coming close to each other. And if I draw like this is divergent beam. So, the rays are going away from the source. So, I can demonstrate it with a small one. See here, imagine these are the three parallel beam, each one is a light ray, and if I bend them like this, you can see they are going to meet at a point, this point like this. So, this is convergent beam. If I do like this, they are going away from. So, this is divergent beam. So, as we saw the reflection, because whatever the different phenomena of light, those are all read with the help of these beam of light. Now, let us see what are the laws of reflection. Let us see laws of reflection. See, there are 3 laws of reflection, but nowadays only 2 they are saying. So, imagine this as a plain mirror. So, what is a mirror? Mirror is nothing but a plain glass, highly polished glass. This is actually highly polished glass. So, on one surface it is painted. See, this is plain glass. Here it is painted. So, this is called as a mirror. This becomes as a mirror. So, always the mirror is represented like this. The back side, the painted side is represented like this. So, let us imagine a ray is incidenting like this. So, I call this as incident ray. And where it touches the surface, the mirror, this point O is called as the point of incidence, point of incidence. There what I do, with the help of a protractor, you might have seen in the mathematics, you will measure the angles with this. So, with the help of protractor, I will put a point at 90 degrees and I will draw this becomes as a normal. So, it is a normal. Always the angles must be measured from normal to incident ray. So, this angle is called as angle of incidence. Angle I is called angle of incidence. And now, this incident ray reflects in such a way that the angle of reflection, this is angle R is called as angle of reflection, which is equal to the angle of incidence. The first law is angle I equals to angle R. Second law states that the incident ray, that is IR, normal and this is reflected ray, let us say reflected ray, lie on the same plane. So, let us do an activity to show this. So, here I took a plane. So, this is x and y plane, this is x and z plane. So, when I put my torch here, the light will go only on xy direction, it is not falling into this direction, isn't it? If I put my light here, it goes only in this direction, but it never reaches to this direction. So, that is what the meaning of incident ray, reflected ray and normal lie on the same plane. The third one is there, anyhow it is understood, but now I am saying, but it is not found in your textbooks. The incident ray and reflected ray lie on the either side of the normal. Incident ray, reflected ray lie on the either side of the normal. Now, let me ask you a question. What happens if a light ray goes along the direction of the normal? If light ray goes along the direction of the normal, what happens? Yes, you guessed it right. It will be back along the same direction. So, remember this property, we are going to use it further. Hope you understood the laws of reflection. So, let us see what are the characteristics of the image. How we say the characteristics? Observe the slide. So, generally we say whether the object is virtual or real. The position of the image also. See, to say virtual or real, see this is a plane mirror and you can see my face here. If I place this screen behind the mirror or side of the mirror, do I get my image on this screen? No. So, such images which cannot be caught on the screen are called as virtual images. So, real image that can be caught on the screen. You can see in the first picture, real image is focused on the wall, the candle light is there on the wall in a small. And in the second picture, it is virtual image where the candle flame is visible on the lens itself. So, the object is whether it is erect or inverted. So, just for a moment you forget about the colors. If I say, see observe here the two caps are in the same direction, the two caps of the pin are in the same direction. So, this if the object is like this and image also like this, then we say it as an erect image. If the object is like this, but if I get the image like this, it is called inverted image. It is called as inverted image. And in the fourth picture, if you observe the girl hand, you can see the size, but in the image it is very big. And in the fifth picture, a man is standing in front of a mirror where the face is very small when compared with the size of the face of the man. So, this is the small one is a diminished one and the first one is enlarged one. And the object distance, image distance and height of the object, height of the image also we see the characteristics. So, you can see with the in front of a mirror if you stand, observe the slide. So, a candle is placed in front of a mirror where the object distance is equal to the image distance and where it is of the same size, where lateral inversion takes place. So, lateral inversion means you can see here the card physics, but if you look this in a mirror, so this card shows physics, but if you see in mirror, it is laterally inverted. So, even if you can see when suppose one person is writing with right hand, the other person is watching him in the mirror, he observes as if he is eating with the left hand. So, this is lateral inversion. Let us see what are the daily life examples with mirrors. So, we used to see our face in the mirror for decoration purpose, to construct kaleidoscope, periscope, and you can see here the number of images, forming of multiple images. See, these are the two mirrors with making some angle. These are the two mirrors making some angle. So, you can see the number of images that are formed by this mirror. You can see here. So, formation of multiple images also, even in the shop complexes when you go, in the trial room, you can observe the number of mirrors. Even sweet shops, jewelry shop, they use the plain mirrors. Okay, now, so observe the slide here. In the first picture, look at the slide. In the first picture, you can see a boy is watching his face. So, it is a plain mirror. In the second picture, you can see a chessman horse is small in one mirror and large in one mirror. Same case with the candle flame also. So, what are these? Why we are getting like this? So, this is introduction to curved mirrors. So, curved mirrors, curved shapes are not new to you. You can see with this. See, this is a half cut coconut. So, this is a concave shape, and if I move this side, it is like convex shape, and even this one, this object also concave, and this side it is convex. So, concave shape means when it bends, it is concave, and outside it is convex. So, there are two types of curved mirrors, concave, convex. So, how these mirrors are prepared? See, these mirrors are, see here, this is a glass sphere. So, transparent glass sphere, it has a center. If I cut this part, that means I will get this one like this, a curvature. If I paint this side, it becomes as a concave mirror. If I cut this side here, I will get a curvature here like this. If I paint this side, it becomes as a convex. So, here what happens? The center point of the mirror is called as pole, denoted by P, and this curvature is having a center, as I told you here. So, this is a center, imagine. If I join this line PC, this is called principal axis. Principal axis. The parallel beam of light which incidents on the concave mirror after reflection pass through a single point. This point is called as focal point, F. F is the focus. So, PC is the principal axis and PF is called as F, it is focal length. And PC is the radius of curvature, which is the radius here. So, what happens in convex mirror? Let us see. In convex mirror, this is the reflecting surface. The center point is P. if I place an object here, the parallel beam of light which incidents reflects in such a way, if I extend this, I am going to get a focus here. This is the focal point of convex mirror. So, how to draw the images when an object is placed in front of a concave mirror? So, we can draw the 5 different images, where in the first one we can take beyond C, and in second we can take at C, third we can take at between F and C, fourth one we can take at F, fifth one we can take between P and F. Okay. So, to draw these we should follow some rules. So, how to draw these images? So, we can take generally 4 types of races are there, but we take the 3. First one is, let us say F and C. Remember children, the focal point is always the midpoint of P and C. The focal length is exactly half that of the radius of curvature. So, first ray we take which is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection passes through the focus. Second ray we take which is passing through focus, just reverse of the first one, after reflection goes parallel to the principal axis. The third one which passes through the center of curvature again reflects back in the same direction. So, here if you observe, just I told as in the plane mirror, when it goes through the normal, it is again reflected back along the normal. Same case happens here. So, it is reflected back in the same direction. And fourth one also we can consider, that is, if a ray is incidenting making some angle, we have to use protractor and take the same angle of reflection here, then it goes like this. But to draw this we need protractor. So, generally we use only these 3 races. These 3 races are generally used to draw the diagram. Okay, so I will show one so that you can do the remaining one. So, I am going to show you the first diagram here. This is P, this is F, this is C. So, let me take the object is placed beyond C. So, first ray that is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection passes through the focus. Second ray which passes through the center of curvature again reflects back in the same direction, again reflects back. So, these 2 are incidenting here. So, this is object if I say OJ, and this is IG image. So, let us say the characteristics which we learned. Here we can catch it on the screen. So, it is called as a real image, and the image is formed between F and C. Image between, I am writing in cut short, image is formed between F and C, and the image is diminished one, it is small one, diminished, and it is inverted. When compared with the object, it is inverted. So, generally the distances, all the distances are measured from pole. PO is the object distance, it is denoted by U, and PI, it is the image distance measured, represented by V, and of course PF is the focal length. But here the most important one is we have to follow the sign convention. So, the sign convention is always measure the distances from pole, that is first one. Second one is when we are measuring the distances in the direction of the light, they are considered as positive. If I am measuring the distances in the opposite direction to that of light, they are considered as negative. See here, the object distance P to O, when I am measuring from P to O, I am going in the opposite direction to that of light direction. So, it should be shown with a negative sign. PI, again I am measuring in the opposite direction of the light. So, it is also negative. PF, it is also negative. So, like this we see the sign convention. So, the others you can draw on your own. And what are the uses of these curved mirrors? See, look at the slide. There is a flower pot, it is placed, first picture it is placed in front of a plane mirror, where the same type of image you can get. See, children, if you observe clearly, lateral inversion took place there. Next, convex mirror, as if the flower pot bulged. In the third, it is concave mirror, as if it is compressed. And what are the uses of concave mirrors? Concave mirrors are used as reflectors in the torch lights and in car headlights, and it is used by dentists, it is used as shaving mirror. And uses of convex mirrors are like rear view mirror, and it is used as a security mirror, because as it has wide range, the vehicles which are coming from back can be seen. So, generally we use them in our vehicles. What are the bad effects of light? See, due to high illumination, it may cause the headache, and due to sunlight we may get sunburn and headache, fatigue, stress, anxiety. And the artificial lightning is called as the photo pollution, it is called as, and even it can damage our eyesight also. And most of the time when we use the computer screens or the mobile screens, they may cause our eyesight. And even physiology, and it may cause the physiology of damage to the physiology of plants and animals. So, how to take care of our eyes? So, here is the slide. You can eat the food which is A vitamin A rich foods, carrot, beetroot, broccoli, or the beef or egg, the citrus fruits, the blueberries, all these fruits and vegetables you can eat to keep your eyes healthy. And care must be taken. See, when you are watching TV, you should at least sit at a distance of 2.5 meters. When you are using a computer screen or laptop screen, maintain at least 50 centimeters distance, and read under proper light, and give at least 1 minute rest to your eyes after looking for half an hour. And don't play much in the mobiles. So, please go out and play. So, it will give you a physical exercise and keeps you healthy. And today we learned about the reflection and how this reflection word relate with English. See, as in diaries you are writing the reflections of the day. So, reflection in action, what is the meaning? Reflection on practice, this is how it is related in English. And reflection for action and reflection with action. So, these are all the different ones. And finally, the project work. So, I have shown you one diagram here. Draw the ray diagrams and also write characteristics of image formed when an object is kept, number 1 at C, number 2 between F and C in front of a concave mirror. So today lack of the time, so I didn't say how the image is formed in a convex mirror. So let us see next. Next, the one more project, the second project is you have to prepare a model, your own model. It may be kaleidoscope, it may be periscope, or your own model by using plane mirrors. By using plane mirrors. So you can prepare that model and bring it. So as children, as I told you, we did the different sources of light, we learned laws of reflection, we learned how the curved mirrors frame the images and how the characteristics of the image. So lastly, relate with English. Thank you children, have a good day. Thank you.